As you know, the Primero API request is limited to maximum of 1000 records, right? And if you have more than 1000 records and you would like to pull the data from Primero to Power BI for your dashboard and analysis, how to do that? That's what I'm going to demonstrate to you today. Let me connect to my Primero instance. I'm using one of the demo instance. So I'll go to get data and then wave and connect to my Primero instance. This is the URL and this is the API get request for cases. If you just use this API request and proceed, you will get, you see 20 cases here, because by default, you will get the default 20 cases that you have in the default case list view in Primero, right? So let me go to the Primero instance. This is the default case list view, and which shows 20 records, right? This is what you will get here. So we can increase this to 1000 case. How to do that? I'll show you. I will go here in Power Query, View, and Advanced Editor, and I will edit the API request here. So this is the API call. So here by default it is showing only 20 cases, and I can increase it to 1000. So for that I will add the parameters. I will say the page 1 and with 1000 cases. So with this, now I will get 1000 cases here, right? So I have 1000 cases here. If you have more than 1000 cases, what to do? Because at a time you can only pull 1000 records. What you can do is make another query, yeah, which I will call page 2 cases, and then we already pulled page 1 with 1000 case. Now we will pull page 2 with another 1000 case, additional 1000 case. Yeah, so then I have these two different calls. First 1000 and second 1000. And please note, I have total of 1384 cases. Then in this first call, I have first 1000 case, and in the second call, though I say 1000 more cases, but I only have 1384, then in the second call, I will go at the remaining 384 cases, right? Then total, it add up to 1384 cases. So we got all our cases from the system. Then you have to combine these two, right? Because we need all 1384 cases for our reports and analysis. So for that, I will create a new query and do combine, and then I will append. Then I can append this first table and second table. Then in this new query, appended file, I will get all my cases. So now I can use this table for my analysis. So I will close and load. Okay, so all three tables are loaded, but this is the table which has all 1384 cases, so I will be using this one for my analysis. Let me just quickly check if we have all the cases here. So I will just count the ID to ensure that I have all 1384 records. Let me just do the scorecard, and let me just do the distinct count for this. So I have all my 1384 cases here. Yeah, this is how do you do. But the limitation of this approach is every time you have 1000 new records, you need to add one new query and then add that in that in the append, right? So you have to continuously do that whenever you reach new 1000 milestone. Now I will show you how you can automate this process and get all the data without pulling queries each time you reach 1000 case and combining them. Okay, let me just delete this combined file and also the second page call. Okay, now I want all my 1384 cases loaded without multiple queries, yeah, and appending them. So I go to view and then advanced editor, and I need to do a few changes in my code here. I will just have to add this in the beginning, and then here where we have this page equals to 1, so we will do some modification. Instead of 1 defining page number, so we want it to be dynamic. Yeah, and then with these changes, what you will get is, you see what this additional code is doing is it is saying input a page as a number and the output should be table following this function, right? So this is what you are getting. So I can here is I have a space to page, enter a page, and then it will give me the output in a table format for that page. So if I do page 1, then what it is giving me is the 1000 records for page 1, and then if I go back again here and if I do 2, then it will pull additional 1000 cases for page 2. In our case, we don't have 1000 for page 2, it is only 384, so then it will give me this 384 for page 2. That's what this function will do. Now what we need to do is, so we have this done, we need another one step. So you need to go and add new query, blank query. Sorry. And this gives me the list 1 to 10, and I will turn into table, convert into table, and then change this column name as a page. So this is page 1 to 10. Now we will do add or go to add and do a custom column. And in this custom column, what we want to do is we want to do these cases functions that we have it here and use the page, these page numbers into that function. So what it is doing is it is running this function, yeah, but here in the page reference where the page number reference, it is just pulling the page number from this table. So you expand, and then once I expand, then I have these 10 pages with 1000 cases in each here. Yeah, then basically it means it can accommodate 10,000 cases. But for me, in my instance, I only have 1384 cases, so I will get 1384 cases. But this, as this query is already defining 10 pages per 1000, that means I should not be worried until I hit 10,000 cases, right? But if I want to increase, let's say I'm expecting my cases to be 20,000, then I can just here in the list, instead of 10, I can do 20. So it is good enough for accommodating 20,000 cases. Yeah, so let me just apply and close here. Here we have our data loaded. Let's see if we have all our data here. I will just count the ID here. Let me just do the distinct count, and I have all my 1384 cases.